I am back with the next video in our mini album series. So in this video I'm going to be attaching the pages and then showing you how to make a few different photo mats, and then we'll decorate, do the inside as well. So first things first, or should we do the inside first? Yeah, we'll do the inside first actually. I think that will be a little bit easier. So to do the inside, I was thinking either a piece of this paper, which looks really pretty, but I think I'm just going to cover it with cardstock, and then we'll make some flaps on there as well. So let's measure just to be sure how big it needs to be. So it needs to be 6 1/4 by I'm gonna say 6 1/2. So 6 1/4 by 6 1/2. Let me just make a quick note. 6 1/4 by 6 1/2. Okay, and grab my trimmer and we'll go to the pile of leftover bits. See if any of them are big enough before we cut anything else. And I think they might all be too small. Darn it. That's big enough that way. I wonder how. Yeah, that's fine. What measurement is this then? So we don't need to cut anything. So this is 5 3/4 by 6 1/4. So in your scrap, well not scrap, your leftover bits, you should have some pieces that are that size. So 6 1/4 by 5 3/4. That was lucky. Good job I checked that pile first. So, look that way. Yeah, that looks fine. Right, I'm going to stick that down. I'll just use some wet glue, I think. There we go. Basically just want to cover up the that join there and a bit of the chipboard. So like so, and then this one on this side, and most of it will be covered, so it's all good. Let's get a bit more there. Right, so that's all covered. And again, burnish. Make sure it's all nicely stuck down. Yeah, okay, so that's complete. So what I thought we'd do on the inside, we're going to have a pocket at the back and sort of a waterfall flap thing at the front. So what we need is, first of all, we have to think about what size the flap needs to be. So if you want to put a standard 4x6 photo on there, it needs to be bigger than that. So you go 1/4 inch bigger, so it'd be 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then to stick it down, obviously you need a flap as well, so then it will be 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. So 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I'll cut that now and show you what I mean. So if I use, how big were those? Oh, those are 6 1/4. Awesome. So I'm thinking maybe 3. I'll do 2 first and then see. So 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, and then you'll score at 1/2 inch. I'm just going to do that on here just to show you. So then you'll have that flap, and that's going to go on here. So obviously you have to think about how many you can fit. So I'll do one more and you'll see. 4 3/4, and then score it at 1/2 inch. Did I do that one right? I didn't, did I? That's not 1/2 inch at all. No, too small. Oh dear, what am I like? So 6 1/4, 1/2 inch, Hannah. Okay, then you would fold them like so, and they will stack on top of each other and make a waterfall. So looking at that, I'm thinking I can get another couple on there, so I'll do 2 more. So 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, and then scored at 1/2 inch. One more. What size is that? What else have I got over here? I'll use one of these ones. I think. Is that big enough? Yeah. So 6 1/4 by 4 3/4, and then score it at 1/2 inch. Okay. So then you just need to put some double-sided tape onto each flap. Oops. Oh, come on. And these as well. Like so. Then fold and burnish those score lines. Okay, bring your album back in. And starting with the top one, take the backing off, and you're going to line it up with the edge of your cardstock that you've stuck down. Can I get an angle where you can see? There. So you're going to line it up with that edge there, and then even side to side on the cover. Like so. Open that up, Make sure it's nicely stuck down. And then take your second one and you're going to butt it up to that first flap. So I'm butting it right up. Try and not to have a gap if you can. Next one. And again, butt it right up. And burnish. And then the last one. There you go. So that is a waterfall thing. And obviously it's going to pop up, but we will put a closure on that as well to keep it down. So cute. And the Memories and More cards are the same size as the photo, so you can double check and you can see that a photo will fit quite nicely on there or on that side, but we can decorate that up a little bit more after. So for the back side, like I said, I'm going to put just a simple pocket. So you're going to need a piece that is what is this, 6 1/4. So you need a piece that's 7 1/4 by however deep you want your pocket to be. So I'm going to go about 3 inches. Yeah, so 7 1/4 by 3. So grab my trimmer, look through your scraps to see what you've got. We need one of these ones. So 7 1/4 by 3 inches. And you're just going to score 1/2 inch on either side. So again, you can do this on your trimmer if you've got the Stampin' Up trimmer, or on the scoreboard, whichever you prefer. Okay, so some double-sided tape. On either end. And we're just going to mitre those edges on the flap. Like so. And then fold and burnish. And just the same as we did with the pockets on the pages, you're going to put a thin bead of glue along there, and it's going to be a side pocket. So you want to make sure when you're placing it not to go over that crease. So you want to give yourself about I'd say about an 1/8 of an inch, nearly 1/4 of an inch away from the fold, so when it folds up you're not too close to that line there. So take the tape backing off, and just a thin line along the bottom. I'm going to turn it that way so I can see what I'm doing. There. Give give that a really good burnish. So you've got a side pocket there. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can decorate. Yeah, we'll decorate next, I think. So for this side, if you remember, the last page is the berry burst, so it makes sense to make this back page berry burst, and the front page is berry burst, so I'll probably do some berry burst on this bit as well. So if I grab my paper, get the berry burst, and I can decide which ones I want. Okay, so that looks awesome, so it'll be next to that. Love it. So again, like we did on the inside, you're just going to cut this down. So it was, what did we do it to? It was 2 and a bit, wasn't it? The inside, yeah, 2 and just under half an inch. So do that the same. That will fit nicely there. I tell you, I love berry burst, it's just so pretty. So stick that down. Oops. There we go. And then that will tuck in nicely. There. So that's the back pocket done. Really, really simple, but I think it looks pretty good. And then I've got boxes and random stuff all over the place. Then for the front, again, I'm going to go berry burst, but I think I will do this in a minute. Well, I can do some of it, because basically I'm going to do a magnet closure on this, so you need to put your magnets down before you actually decorate. So we'll add the pages and then do that bit, so working back to front. So starting off with your last page, you want to add that first. So I'm just taking off the tape backing and adhering that to the hinge. And before I've really stuck it down, I bring it down just to make sure it's straight. Yep, that looks good. So how does that look? Awesome already. And then just do the same for the other pages. So make sure you've got it the right way around. And line it up with that page. Make sure it looks straight. Oh, I love it. So nice. This one. Oops. So I'm not shoving the page all the way down to the bottom, just to give it a little bit of space, just so the pages will move nicely. Okay, nearly there. Okay. There we go. Perfect. So that is our pages attached. I'll just go through again, make sure it's really stuck well, and I haven't got any sticky bits showing or anything like that. And the back page there, beautiful. I love it. And then it will close up nice and neatly. Fabulous. So now for this bit, what I am looking for in my Memories and More cards is something that I can make sort of an embellishment with. So sort of like the flower on that page, something similar to that, or maybe even that. So these are the stickers that I will use afterwards. So something that I can cut down, it might be that big flower actually. There's one. I don't know if there's another big image like that. I think that will be the one. Just double check. Oops. Leaves, no. Yeah, I think it's going to be that one. So I will could just do a circle. That might be a little bit easier. Okay, so I've got those two pieces. Let's have a look at what size that is. So can I just punch it out? No, that's too small. It's 2.5. So I want some of that colour. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, this is a 2.5 inch punch, or you could use a die just to make two. Do I need 2 or 1? No, I do need 2. So 2, could be circles, could be a flower, whatever you want really, just as long as it's big enough for you to be able to grab. Okay, and then we need some black cardstock. That will be, let's have a look, see. So that's going to go like so. Where's my ruler? So we want a piece of black. I'm going to say 1 3/4 will do it by about 7. So 1 3/4 by 7 inches. And what have I got? What have I got? Got this. Right. 1 3/4. By 7. Okay, and so we've got that. Yeah, that'll look about right. It'll make sense in a minute, I promise. And I've got some neodymium magnets, and I'll link to where I get them from. I've got a couple of sizes. For this one I'm going to use the, what are they? Whoops. 1/2 inch, just over 1/2 inch size magnets. These are super strong. I get them from Amazon, so I will link to the shop. So 2 of those, and then whatever we're going to decorate this front piece with. So I'm thinking a card or some pattern paper. So what pink ones have I got left? Not pink, Berry Burst. Not many. That's fine though. You can always use paper. Doesn't have to be one of these. No, paper it is. Okay. I'm just going to get some Berry Burst and cut that to size. So, which one? Do we have the crackle? Bit of crackle-ackle on the front. Yeah, we'll have the crackle. So, let's cut that down to 4 by 6. It's already at 6, so done. So, my workspace is getting smaller and smaller as I'm getting more and more stuff on here. So that piece is going to get stuck on there. Before you stick it down, stick your magnet on. So I think I'm going to want it to come to about the middle. So if you just grab some tape, rip a bit off and pop it in the middle. And then stick that there, and then I'll put another piece over the top. Like so. Make sure that's stuck really well. So I just realised that my camera had stopped filming as I was explaining how to attach the magnet, so I'll just talk you through it. Stupid camera. So all I'd done, I stuck the magnet on this flap and then stuck the piece of Designer Sue's paper over the top, which is 4 by 6, and I just glued it down really well. And then for this part, I've got the 2 circles that I cut out, and in between I've trapped the magnet and that flap that we cut, that 2-inch flap. So then I stuck all that together so that will close on top of there. And then before I stuck the other half down, I just placed it on there to see where I need to make a score line. And then, I don't know if you can see, so I just made a score line there and then just stuck that end of it down. So I hope that makes sense. So basically you've got a magnet underneath that piece of paper there, and a magnet trapped in between two pieces of, it could be two flowers or whatever you want it to be. You can probably see the magnet there, and then that will keep these flaps down. And then I was just saying that I'm just going to add a strip of designer series paper to the bottom of each flap instead of a whole piece. So I'll just quickly do that with you. So sorry about that. I was filming for longer than I realised, I think. So just sticking that down and just checking that it's in line with the piece above. And then this one. Oops. There we go. And then this piece for here, I've cut it at, just cut it down to 4.5 inches, and that will cover over that bit there. Sorry. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's happening with me today. So that'll cover over that flap. So then it'll look like so. Yep. So make sure you don't go over the score line, and it lines up. There, so you've got your flaps and that closure. So I hope you get what I mean when I say trap the magnet in between two pieces to close it down. That looks pretty awesome. I was going to decorate that, but I think I'm actually going to just leave it black, because it looks really nice against the designer series paper. And the order I've done that is the order of the pages. So we've got Berry Burst, Crushed Curry, Old Olive, Dapper Denim, and then another Berry Burst. Had to be done that way. So I think what I'm actually going to do, I was going to in this video do photo mats, but I think I might stop this video because it is actually quite long, and do the photo mats in another video. And then we will be finished nearly. So that's what we've got so far. Pocket there. I am loving it. So each page has got a side pocket as well that we can put photo mats in. So, and then this, I love Waterfall. I think that looks fabulous. So I'll probably put something over that there, and that is our album so far. So I'm going to stop this video, and then in the next video we'll make photo mats, and then we'll move on to the cover after that.